Welcome everybody to Jacob's Bunker, where we meet our intrepid hero who's actually on the move.
Yeah.
Undisclosed location.
Yeah, let's just say the CIA wasn't quite too happy about what I was doing.
No,
So
do they mask you up? Right?
yeah, but we're on the run now.
Well, no, okay, good. You got to keep away from the paparazzi.
Yeah, yeah,
Right, big problem.
yeah,
All right, very good. You're only allowed to travel at night.
yeah, that's true.
This way the satellites can't see you.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay, so good. So this week's parsha is called Yisro. And the first opening line starts out, V'yishma Yisro. Yisro heard, right? Yisro, the priest of Midian, who's the father-in-law of Moshe. He heard all that the God had done for Moshe and the Jewish people when he brought them out of Egypt. So Rashi comes along and says, it ties the first verse with the fifth verse. Yisro heard, and the fifth verse is, and Yisro came, V'yavo Yisro. So Rashi says, he heard and then he came. He came to convert, right? Which is
Yeah,
a very impressive thing. If they were putting up on an auction, you see these buildings named after Joe Schmo, who. Oh, by the way, right? We have to mention this. This tonight's class is Le'iloi Nishmas for Jacob's grandfather. His name was Nachum. What's his name?
Nachman Pesach ben Yaakov.
Nachman Pesach ben Yaakov. Very good. So Yisro. So if you had to name, you wanted to name a building after somebody, right? If it was a really United Nations building, probably give it away. But if it was the White House, let's say you want to rename the White House, we'll call it Jacob's House, right?
Yes.
How much a donation? If you paid off the national debt, maybe they'll let you name the White House. Who knows, right? That would be something. So if you wanted a name, if you wanted to name a parsha after you, that would be something. If you could get the parsha of the Ten Commandments, that would be a really big deal. And
yeah,
the Ten Commandments is named after Yisro, right?
Yeah.
So not only that, but there are very few parshas in the Torah named after any tzaddik. Abraham doesn't get a parsha. Yitzhak doesn't get a parsha, right? Yaakov doesn't get a parsha, right? The only one who got a parsha is Sarah, right? So here comes Yisro and he gets a parsha. So anybody who says that Judaism doesn't respect converts is making a big mistake. Not only that, but there's no mitzvah in the Torah to love your parents.
Really?
Right? Yeah, you don't have to love them. You don't even have to like them very much.
Oh, okay.
You have to honor them, right? Right? But you don't have. There's no mitzvah in the Torah that they have to love you.
Yeah.
Right? There's a general mitzvah of v'ahavta re'eh kamocha, love your neighbor like yourself. So in as much as your parents are also your neighbor, right? So you have a general mitzvah, right? But you don't have a specific mitzvah to love your parents, right? You don't have a mitzvah to love your spouse beyond that, right? You follow? But the Torah says many times you have to love a convert.
Yeah.
You follow? That's kind of
know.
Right? Why does the Torah say you have to love a convert? So you see, to answer the first question, why does the Torah tell you that it does not require you to love anyone specific? You don't have a mitzvah to love your parents, you don't have a mitzvah to love your children, you don't have a mitzvah to love. Because love, Rav Noach always used to say, love, what's love? Love is seeing the virtues in another person and appreciating them. Right? So the Torah can't tell
Yes.
you to love somebody because maybe they don't have any virtues. Now that doesn't
Yeah.
apply to you because your parents have got lots of virtues. But some people are born into families and unfortunately their parents
Yeah.
don't have much not much to talk about. It's like a joke about, the rabbi, when you're a rabbi of a shul, you have to do all the funerals, the ones you want to do and the ones you don't want to do. Right? So they buried somebody in the shul who nobody liked, right?
Oh.
Yeah, so what the rabbi gets up and he's doing the whole service and everything, and they get to the bit where it says, "Has anybody got anything nice to say about this guy?" Right? Well, here is Jack Cohen, right? Would anyone like to say a eulogy, something nice about him? The whole town's there, and nobody says a word, and the rabbi's getting embarrassed and says, "Somebody, please say something," right? So his neighbor stands up and he says, "I'd like you to know that his brother was worse."
Ouch. Oh, that's not. Oh,
Uh,
oh dear.
that's gonna hurt, right?
That's a bad one. Yeah.
So you see, if Noach used to ask this question, the gap between a Jew and a Tana. A Tana is like Rabbi Akiva, somebody who could compose the Mishnah, right? These are people who knew how to raise the dead, literally, right? Mind-boggling genius, character of exemplary character, amazing people, right? The gap between a Jew and a Tana is less than between a Jew and a non-Jew. You get that?
Yeah. Interesting.
Right? In other words, when a non-Jew becomes a Jew, he has to cross a greater distance. He has to cross a greater distance than you would if you became a Tana, one of the greatest rabbis that ever lived.
Yes.
Right? So Rav
Wow.
Nachman asked the question, how come we have people who convert, right? How come we have people who convert, and we don't have people becoming these great rabbis? You follow?
Yes, I do.
So I'll give you his answer, and then I'll give you my answer. So
All right.
he used to say, because we have no teachers. See, the only reason somebody can convert, if you ever dealt with conversion, is very difficult. Because the convert has to trust. It's like teaching someone to swim. But if you can't swim, it's basically impossible to teach someone to swim. Because when the guy gets in the water, he's got to trust that you know what you're talking about. Right? It's very hard to tell someone how to do something if you're not willing to do it or you can't do it yourself. So a convert has somebody who converted, who's a Jew. You can tell, listen, you give tzedakah, you sharpen shul, you put on tefillin, you keep kosher, you do the holidays. It's all going to work out. You see, it's all going to be good. So he has somebody to teach him how to do it. If he didn't have someone to teach him, he'd never figure out how to do it. Keep Shabbat, never figure it out. So we have teachers. We don't have teachers for Tanoim. We don't have Tanoim who are teaching us how to do it. You follow? That's his answer. I like his answer. But my answer is because we don't love Gerim. Why does the Torah tell us to love a Ger, to love a convert? Because he or she has done something that is so incredible, you should appreciate them for it. What did they do? They crossed this great divide. It's an amazing thing. So if we appreciated them for what they did, we would know how to do it ourselves. And we could mimic what they did, and live that kind of life ourselves.
You're right.
Well, and that, I believe, is one of the reasons, if not the reason, the Yisro is in this week's Parsha of the Ten Commandments. Because it's not just about doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's a living as great as you could possibly live. That's what it's all about. All right, we're good?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jacob.
Yeah, I gotta go, Rabbi. I'm being chased.
Oh no, the CIA's after you.
Yeah, gotta get out at my top secret location.
Okay. Helicopter's waiting for you.
All right, thanks,
Okay,
Rabbi.
bye, buddy.